little piece. It's almost crystalline. Let's carefully break this open if we can. And in the book it says that they fill a matchbox with gold in about 10 minutes. G'day everyone, welcome back to another video. It's Richie here. Today is finally a day where it's not going to be 90 degrees, so I've actually had a chance to come out and do a bit of prospecting. I don't have a mountain of time today, so I thought why not use today and the time I do have to make it a bit more interesting and a little bit more fun. So the plan today is I've got about 3 hours, but I'm going to limit myself to about 2 hours, and I'm going to see, well, how much gold can I find in 2 hours? Now, I'll be honest, this is a spot where I have found gold before. This isn't, a new location, which I typically like to do on my videos. So I don't want people out there to think that this is maybe what you would expect just going out to any random place. But I've brought out the GPZ 7000 and the Gold Monster 1000, and I'll have a bit of an alternation between those perhaps throughout the day, depending on what we get onto. And yeah, I will endeavour to show you guys everything that I find, good, bad, interesting, boring, and with a bit of luck we might be able to get onto a few little pieces of gold. So I've got a few little stories that I might share throughout the morning here as well. And yeah, we'll just take in whatever nature has to offer. It really is a gorgeous morning. It's been sickly hot here in Victoria, like 35 degrees at home, probably like 65 degrees out here in the bush. So it's nice to get a little bit of a change in weather, even if that is only like 30 degrees instead. So yeah, let's enjoy our morning out here, and hopefully we get onto something interesting. Even better would be gold, but at least interesting. So let's get into it. Okay folks, well, piece number one for the morning is this beautiful little piece. It's almost crystalline. I'll try and put up some close-up images of that. It's really gorgeous. Now, it is quite dirty, and I don't really want to clean it up too much just out here in the field because it is quite crystalline. It seems quite fragile, and I don't want to wreck it. So, yeah, piece number one. And yeah, hopefully many more to come. And here's piece number two, folks, this beautiful little specimen. Again, it's quite dirty, so it's probably not going to show up fantastically in this video, but I'll put up a cleaned up image now, hopefully, so you guys can get a better look at that. So that's piece number two. And you can just see how the gold is attached to that piece of ironstone, which is attached to that piece of quartz there. So yeah, lovely little specimen. Rightio folks, well we've got on to piece number three here, and it's just in this little specimen. Now the specimen has a little crack in it, so I thought we might open it together and see if anything pops out, any colour that is. I can't see any gold on the outside of it, but it is giving off a pretty good little target, a little signal. So let's carefully break this open if we can, if it'll let us. And maybe it will not. Whoop. Okay, we dropped a little bit, but you can see it just there. Wow. I wonder if the gold had created that little fault in the rock. And that's why the crack was there. But oh, that's a gorgeous little piece, isn't it? Look at that. Looks like a little gold lead shot just sitting in the middle of the rock there. There's actually a tiny little piece on this side too, so we won't throw that away. And hopefully the piece that fell, hopefully the piece that fell down didn't have gold in it too, but I'll have a search for that. So, well, that's piece number 3. Even though it's broken into 2, I won't be too greedy and claim that as 2 pieces. But okay, let's see if we can find any more. Beautiful. Okay, everybody, and this would be piece number 4, I think. It's another nice little specimen. See the gold sort of poking through the quartz there in the middle, upper half of the middle. Yeah, very nice little piece. You'll have to excuse me. It's starting to warm up quite a bit. You know, I just wanted to have a chat. What a strange thing to say. One of the reasons I wanted to come out this morning was I was reading a book. And for those people that are interested in Bendigo's gold history, you'll probably know about Jeff Hocking, who is a local author and illustrator. And he's written quite a few books about the gold rush in central Victoria, but specifically about Bendigo and Mount Alexander diggings. And I was reading through one of his books and he was talking about these 2 friends, and I can't remember the year, but I think it might have been the mid-1850s, so 1855, and these 2 friends had come to Bendigo looking for their fortune, and they one of their horses had ran off into the bush. Now at this time, it might have been a bit earlier than 1855, perhaps like 1853. Anyway, their horse took off into the bush and they followed it from Bendigo Creek, and they couldn't find the bloody horse, and they were sitting down on the ground, and they said, this looks like a likely little spot. We'll have to have a bit of a search around here. And they start scratching around, just, pushing over some leaves. And in the book, it says that they fill a matchbox with gold in about 10 minutes, just laying on the ground, little gold nuggets. What a world to live in, hey? Where that would be the reality. But anyway, there's bushland, there's ironbark trees everywhere, and they want to make sure they don't lose the location because they want to come back because they subsequently find their horse. So they burn down a couple trees so that when they come back, they can follow the trail of burnt trees. Now, the story goes they come back about 3 days later, and the whole area is just covered with diggers. All of the trees have been taken down, to build some little temporary housing for firewood, obviously for pulley systems and whatnot, digging into the ground with their little shallow mines. And they could never find the trees again. Apparently they did find gold in that similar area, but they could never actually find the exact location again. And that location is Eagle Hawk, what is now Eagle Hawk. So a very rich gold producing area, as we know. But I thought it was a cool little story. 1, just for how easily these fellas found this gold laying on the ground. But 2, just how they had to try and navigate the situation and the lay of the land. These guys were from England. They were new chums, and that was the best way they could determine to try and find their way back. And I guess it makes sense. You think about like trail stones, things like that people do these days to try and map out a trail. But yeah, so I just want to share that story with you guys, and please do check out Jeff's work. It's amazing. And he's also done some work with a friend of mine, Lauren Mitchell, who I know occasionally watches my videos. So hello to Lauren and Jeff. But yeah, Lauren and Jeff, they created the book Dragon Dance, which is actually quite a topical book coming into Easter, and it's a beautifully written and illustrated book about some of the Chinese, speaking about some of the Chinese, what would you say, impact on Bendigo and our Easter festival. And the book really talks about, I guess when I read it, it talks about the imagination of children and the combination of the imagination of the child whilst also taking in, what would you say, influence from one's culture. And I suppose in many ways it's not that dissimilar to what we do out here in the goldfields. Like, we're all really playing out here, right? This is just a big game, bit of fun. So there's a lot of play involved, and yeah, it's a great book, Dragon Dance. If you have any kids, please check it out. I'm sure Lauren and Jeff would really appreciate it. But yeah, let's see if we can find anything else. Okie doke, folks. Well, I have another little specimen here. Now, similar to one of the ones before, it has this little hairline crack through it, but I also can't see any visible gold. So I'll have an attempt to open this up so you guys might be able to discover what it is with me, hopefully without dropping it. Okay, just pull that off there. I can't see any in those pieces. There is a pretty solid little signal in there, but I cannot see it. No, I don't think it's going to break anymore, so we'll have to crush that one up when we get home and see what's in there, but there is a nice little target in there, so that would be number 5, I think. Very good. Okay, folks, well, I'm just trying to take a little bit of shade here in this ironbark tree. She is getting very hot now, so that's probably enough for me today. That was 2 hours. It was actually a little bit shy of 2 hours. It was about 1 hour and 45. So not too bad considering, you know, doing a little bit of filming and other things. So ended up with the 5 little pieces of gold. How good's that? That's great. So takeaway today, I suppose, would be there is gold to be found. A lot of places don't have gold, and a lot of people find it really, really hard to find gold, me included. So my encouragement to people would be, and take this for what you will, I'm no expert on the topic, but if you're looking for new places to go, it's probably best to, if you've got a whole day, dedicate like 1 hour to like each location. So map out maybe 6, 7 different locations that you might want to try. Go to each of those for an hour. Pick out a little spot at that location that looks likely. Go very slow. Do the hour and then move on. You know, it's easy to get really frustrated when it's hot and you're in the one location for like 4, 5, 6 hours, and then you start getting lazy with it and start going really fast and missing over potential targets. So, you know, that's what I would recommend. And if you do get onto a nice little spot, sort of like I've been able to find here, yeah, you can find a reasonable amount of gold, I suppose. And with all that, that would be the end of today's adventure. Thanks for following along. If you do enjoy my videos, I appreciate, you know, all the comments, and those people that do subscribe really gives me motivation to come out here and play and have fun and share the journey with you guys. So until next time, bye-bye. And obviously, yeah, I'll weigh up the gold in 1 second, so don't go just yet. Well, I'm back home now. Time to weigh up this gold. Now, actually, this is going to be unfair because 4 of these are actually really nice specimens that I don't really want to, so I'm not going to break them up. So there's only 1 piece of gold that isn't in quartz. What's that weigh? So that is 0.11, 0.12. You can see that there. So I think all up, that piece is probably the 2nd largest after that top right specimen there. I would hazard a guess that there would probably be 0.6, I reckon. 0.5, 0.6, so half a gram, 0.6. Pretty happy with that. So today's gold prices, I think that equates to roughly $60 or $70. I haven't checked in a week or so, but yeah. Thank you for following along. Going to be getting out a lot more now when the weather cools down. So until next time, good luck out there. Thanks for following along, and I look forward to seeing you soon. Bye-bye.